This is very exciting for us.
It's exciting for me.
Trouble.
No, but
Your staff will, and a lot of other people will come get me if I do that to you, so.
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Leftist Extremism. Happy 4th of July weekend, everyone. Well, except to the MSNBC staff who hate the founding of this country.
I just wonder, the degree to which we have not only normalized white rage and white violence, but institutionalized it as well, right? If you look at the origins of police forces, some of them sprang from slave patrols. Like, when you have a country that is founded, that has institutionalized racism, how do you get to a more perfect union?
Yeah, that's MSNBC getting ready for the holiday by spreading racist hate. Perhaps, though, we could get closer to a more perfect union if we judge people on the content of their character and not the color of their skin. The Supreme Court backed that idea up this week, ruling that affirmative action was unconstitutional, and that just really upset the leftist media.
Well, to be honest with you, we will return to elite institutions, more specifically being the space for a particular population, for predominantly white and Asian students.
It doesn't matter if they did the hard work to get there and they had good grades. MSNBC does not want any more Asian students. That thought agitates them.
To hear it, I'm kind of still, I'm trying to manage my emotions. But, this was just one remedy, affirmative action, the only remedy.
Only one remedy, Strangely, the MSNBC panel didn't discuss improving inner city schools or school choice. No, only through racial discrimination does MSNBC believe that we can achieve equity. Yet, still, for the dumbest take on the subject, we do have to make our weekly journey and visit The View.
When we're talking about taking a preferential treatment, we have to look at that. Are we now also going to take away legacy, sports?
Yeah,
how about people with disabilities?
Is this leading to no women in colleges soon? Who knows?
No, that danger would actually come from men claiming to be transgenders, taking away women's scholarships and opportunities. But of course, The View just doesn't see that.
Is this leading to no women in colleges soon? Who knows? But I have something great to tell you. As we close out Pride Month, head to our social media platforms and take a look back at how far the LGBTQ plus community has come.
Yeah, they claim they're coming for your children. But now NBC News claims that phrase, well, it's taken out of context. The Alphabet Mafia has just been saying that for years, and that should make us all feel better somehow. I think these leftists just sit in their own echo chamber and listen only to themselves.
I don't spend too much time on right-wing websites, but I completely concur with what you're saying.
Well, why would former Biden spokesperson and current MSNBC host Jen Psaki look for any differing opinion or any real news? Our audience doesn't. MSNBC host Nicole Wallace just giggled like a schoolgirl all the way through her softball interview with Joe Biden this week.
This is very exciting for us.
exciting for me.
You said today, and I know that you have a lot of power.
Well, if I say it's anti-democratic, then it gets
in a lot of trouble.
No, but...
Do you worry that without court reform, this conservative majority is too young and too conservative, that they might do too much harm? Mr. President, we don't get a lot of presidents through this studio, so consider it your chair.
Consider it your chair. Consider it your show. Consider this your propaganda network, Joe. In fact, a new poll from the Media Research Center finds voters who rely on CNN and MSNBC are significantly less informed about a whole host of important issues, and surprise, most of those issues are negative for Joe Biden. Of course, leftist networks always find time to hate and lie about the GOP.
But what does it say about the Republican Party that the next guy down is Ron DeSantis, who is running the most openly fascist campaign I think I've ever seen? And I'm saying that having covered Donald Trump.
I don't think Reed knows what fascist means, but the left continues spreading these crazy theories this week. Among them, DeSantis is a fascist and Trump was selling classified documents to foreign agents.
Is it possible that he thought that he could sell them, that he thought he could
Well,
leverage
everything about
them?
him is making money, so why not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it, everybody.
Except she just did, and that theory has been completely debunked, but this is the fantasy land that is The View.
You know what? Maybe I'll get this over to the Saudis. I'll give it to them and nobody will mess with them anymore. Maybe I can take these and just give them over to Putin and they won't mess. I'm not saying that's what he did.
It's amazing how often they claim to not have been saying something that they just said, all while pushing their leftist agenda.
But I'm annoyed that he can continue to do this, and I see people who, were late on their taxes, they end up in jail forever.
Missing tax deadlines and ending up in jail. Now, that is an interesting thing to bring up, isn't it?
The response to Hunter Biden's agreement to plead guilty on tax charges, Republicans are angry that the president's son is likely to avoid prison.
In fact, Tax Funded PBS is arguing that not going to prison, well, that's still way too harsh of a punishment for a Biden.
How does this plea deal compare with what any other American accused of similar wrongdoing might get?
Allies of Hunter Biden and former prosecutors suggest that this plea deal is actually somewhat harsher on Hunter Biden than it might be on someone else with his background and pattern of conduct. Rather than being an unduly favorable plea deal, it actually could be somewhat harsher, in part because of who he is.
Wow. And what was it Joe himself said while criticizing the Supreme Court's ruling on affirmative action?
The only people who benefit from the system are the wealthy and the well-connected.
The media and justice system work especially well for wealthy, well-connected people named Biden. Don't you think? I'm Eric Scheiner, and I'm asking you to visit the MRC homepage and click on that donation button. Help keep videos like this one coming. Visit MRCTV.org for the latest in videos, information, and entertainment. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe to these videos where you can actually see them. Rumble's the only place that has all of our video content. And we'll be back next week with another look at leftist media madness.